Christina's Creations. Today, just a short video to show off, unbox a couple of things that I've purchased in the last week or so, and also a couple of things I made. So first, I will start with, let's see, this one. It's pretty boring. So first, I got some of this. You may remember I got some UV resin recently. And this is tape that you can use as a backing for things, or just to if you're doing freehand stuff with it, so that it's not sitting on here, but I can pick it up and move it around, and then you peel the resin off of this tape afterwards. And for some reason I thought my kit came with this, but it didn't, so got some of my own. Then I can't remember if I showed this already or not, but I did get this alphabet and numbers mold, and you can probably see I've already used it a little bit. It's pretty good. One of the things I'm a bit sad about is it was folded when I got it, and so the N and the E and a bit of the V and the 4, even the 3, some of these, they're not sitting flat, so I'm gonna have to, I don't know, do some heating up and creative things to try to get those flat, because otherwise those letters aren't very usable. There's another little piece for my collection. Just always saving these little pieces for something to go as filler or as decoration, as you'll see with something else soon. Then, let's see, show off some things that you can maybe see here already. Last week I poured some deep mold bottle stoppers, and that's a sharp. Oh, awesome. There is a hair in there. You won't be able to see it, but there is actually a small hair in there, probably from my dog Mia. But this was just poured with nothing in it, no coloring, no anything, just to sort of see how clear it would be if I just left it alone. And there's a couple of bubbles in there, a little bit more than I would have expected, because this is a 2-inch deep pour resin, and I don't think this is a full 2 inches. But of course, various factors contribute to it. So, but that's pretty cool. And then I tried, I wanted to go for a marble effect, and so I watched a video and saw about painting some lines and whatnot of mica powder onto the side inside the mold before pouring. So I made some white and then poured it. I'm not sure I love the top part here, some of these dots, you can see, but overall, pretty cool effect. So I'm pretty happy with that in general. So that'll definitely get made into a stopper and given to somebody. Then just playing around with some leftover resin. I did some more pop sockety things. So this one, you can see I had like a clear orange, and then I used some of the white and put orange, and just sort of did a zigzaggy back and forth. The interesting thing is the backside just kind of all did its own thing, but you can, if you look close enough, you can actually see the backside doing its own thing underneath there. So it's interesting that the top and bottom did different things. These two I tried doing sort of the flowery thing with, and then I poured some of the leftover resin right in the center there. But you can kind of see that's kind of come out fairly neat. And then this one just clear with some of that in there. Kind of cool. And then this one, like I was mentioning a minute ago, so this one is using the deep pour resin. I wanted to see if it would be able to harden in the in a shallow mold, and it did. It looks like it's, I don't know if you can tell, but there's a bit of a it's not totally flat. It kind of kicks up a bit here. I think I had started to pull it out and it wasn't fully cured, and then I just left it, and so it ever so slightly finished curing on an angle. So this is a garbage piece, but it was also a test. And what I did, you can see here some of the colors that are in there. That's from all of these little pieces that I collect. So you can see, and I put a couple of them in to sort of see how it would work. And what I realized is I did not do it right, so they didn't stay at the bottom. Some of the white resin kind of got underneath, and also I didn't pay attention properly, and so there's bubbles under each one of them, but that's fine. Again, just a test. So that's some of those things. And then I just, with an extra little bit of white left over, I just made one of those guys. So some more things that I bought. I got these Nick Pro chameleon powders. So these are a mica powder. And I didn't think I was going to get into mica powders, but they just do some really interesting things. And so these are ones that are color changing. And I've got 8 in here. So this one, it actually tells you what the colors are that it changes to. And every time I touch these, I start getting glittery bits on me. But so this one is green, gold, and blue. So I don't know if I move them all around, if you'll kind of get to see the different colors. This one is red, orange, yellow. And then we've got blue, purple, red. Some of them, like this one, make sense. Sometimes they have interesting combinations that you wouldn't expect. Like, I think this one, red, green. Not the Canadian show character who loves duct tape, if you are old like me and Canadian. And purple, red, green. Also another interesting combo. So they're just very metallic and shiny and just color shifty. Blue, green. This one's really pretty. So I'm looking forward to making things like a dragon, making some more bottle stoppers, gold, green, blue. And the last one is red, blue, purple. So that's those. Those are going to come in really cool. So you can either mix them in to resin for that color shifting experience, or you can paint similar to what I did with that marble effect, except, paint as much as you want of the inside of a mold, and then they say pour it with black resin, and that really helps make those colors pop. So that's those. Then I got another group of molds. I've been wanting a heart mold, and just some small molds to test things out in, and also, again, have more options other than just these jewel things for when I have leftover resin. So I got this. It's got 4 different molds in it. Where is the opening? Oh gosh, I taped it down too. I don't want to have to break it, but let's just see if I can get the tape part off. Whew. I don't like the tape. And in the end, I think I'm going to have to cut it open anyways, so let's just do that. Cut. They need longer handled scissors. It's not ideal. Alright. So, let's see. First we've got this one. It's really shallow. This is for moons and suns, I guess, and eclipses, which we actually had one today, I believe. This one's got a little bit of crud on it, but anyways, so this would probably be more used with my UV resin, but also, again, maybe for testing some things out. So that's that one. Then we've got, like I was saying, what I initially wanted. And there's lots of options for these. Bigger ones that have more but I think they're more for people who are doing jewelry. But so I've got these, and I decided to get this one because it has all the things I want, but it gave me these other options as well, and I don't need 4 versions of the same heart. I'm perfectly content to make it a couple of times in different sittings. But we've got lots of little circles, bigger circles, oval. There's like a couple of squares, but they're like domed inside. And then of course hearts. And so one of the things that I actually have seen a lot of people making that I like, even though I'm not like selling anything right now, is what they call pocket hearts. So it's a heart that they made and they put it on a little backing, and it's essentially it's like taking a hug everywhere with you from somebody who cares about you, kind of thing. So I might just make some of those to give them away anyways. So that's that one. That's cool. And then this is one of the reasons I got this one. And we've got this little cat mold. So we've got 3 little cats. I'm guessing, you know, the initial intent for this, sorry, I have chocolate on my finger from a muffin I ate earlier, is that this would be earrings and a necklace. And then same here, earrings and a necklace. But I just think it's cute. I can make tiny little cat heads and paws. So look for those coming out soon. And then the last one is this one here. Also probably going to use more with the UV resin just because of how shallow it is. Very intricate too, some of these, but I've got some butterflies. And I was kind of hoping that there would be a dragonfly on there too, but c'est la vie. But yeah, I mean, the butterflies, there's quite a lot of detail in there. So I'm personally not a fan of butterflies. We have at our zoo here, there's call it the butterfly room. It's basically a big room in one building, and you walk in and there's like all these, you know, you have to go through a couple of stages first to get through so that the butterflies can't get out, but it's very humid in there so that they've got what they need, and it's got tons of different plants and things, which is part of the exhibit as well. But then there's just hundreds of butterflies just flapping around doing their thing. And yeah, some people love it, and then there's people like me do not like it at all. So anyways, so then I have one more thing that I bought recently because, you know, it was Prime Days. So this one, let me see. I've seen people talk about these frequently, and I haven't bothered because it's like $60, but the deals, it was like 20% off, which brought it down from like $60 or 57, I think it was, to like 47. And then it had a coupon for $20 off. So I was like, I'm getting this thing for like half price. Because it was around 60 and I was getting it for 27. So I thought, I'm not going to get another deal like that, and I may eventually have a great need for this. Right now I have maybe a small need for it. Of course, you have no idea what I'm talking about yet. So I will tell you, this is a leveling table, which I've also seen a lot of people make themselves, and I could probably do it, but I just, as much as I like making things, some things I'd just rather not. So what this does is, it's even got a little wrench. So I don't even know if it'll fit on the screen, but it's bigger than I think my silicone mats. But basically, it's got, I'm not going to take it out because I want to keep it, but it's a big table. It's got legs on it here that you can adjust. I think you just, you know, turn them, and they're on like screws, so they adjust, and you set all of the legs up so that it's level. And there is, can you see that in there? There is a little leveling instrument in here. So it's a circle, it's got a circle inside of it, and the goal is to get the bubble in the center of the circle. And then you know that you're working with a level surface. So particularly when you're doing something that you know needs to have a very flat level bottom, um, this will come in super handy. So, and I could also set it up, you know, off to the side um, for things to sit and rest on maybe. So we'll see. I definitely need to expand. Everything is starting to creep into my workspace, but I'm gonna sort of clean this up a bit more. So one last thing to show you real quick is I did make some of those letters already, and I tried a little technique. Well, I tried something and it didn't work, and that's totally cool. I mean, it kind of worked, but so for this one, I made a C for me, and I put some glitter in there, you can see. And gosh, these edges are so super sharp. This would have been the top part when I was pouring. You can see I overfilled. And what I tried to do, like if you just look at it this way, you think, yeah, that's you may not be able to tell it's purple, but it's definitely a color. But if you look at it this way, you'll see the color doesn't go all the way through. I tried just after pouring clear resin, putting a couple of drops of the resin ink and then swirling it around. And what happened was, because it didn't fully mix with the resin and it was sitting on top, I don't know if you can see like this sort of bumpy area. So there were some parts left over at the end where there was just the ink, just the liquid dye sitting on top in some places. So these are definitely not keeper pieces, but I was just playing around. So there's that. I made a red S for my husband, and it's really, really kind of gross on top. And I did swirl the ink around, but I didn't mix it in proper. And then I made a green N for my kid, and this looks like slime. So, and then I made a W for our last name, and I don't know if you can really tell, but there's some silver in there. Was trying to see how that silver was going to work again, because I used it on something else previously and it was just really runny and liquidy and kind of gross. So, and these, of course, I don't know, it looks like there's bubbles, but it's actually clumps of where the silver is. So anyways, that is everything I think that I have to show you. I don't know if I showed you this one, so I'll just show you this one real quick. Another one similar to this, but in red. So that is all. Thank you as always for coming out, and follow me on Instagram. I haven't posted for a little bit, but there should be some pics coming up soon. And you can always find these videos live streaming either on Twitch or YouTube, and then living permanently on YouTube. So thanks for coming out, and I'll probably see you later this weekend for making some things and testing out that mica powder. Bye.